Good evening everybody and welcome to the latest video. This is going to be like a Monday eBay sales video. I'm going to try to put one of these out regularly. I used to do regular sales videos, but I got out of the habit once I'd gotten a bunch of this RC stuff because I thought it would get a bit boring. So what happened was I kind of went off the wagon when it came to doing these sales videos, but I did one last week which went down pretty well with you guys in the chat. So I thought from now on every Monday I will keep you guys up to date with some of the stuff I've sold or some of the more interesting stuff. I'm not going to go through everything, so I'm going to just talk through like what has sold so far. This first video is actually going to include everything in March so far. Well, not everything, but you know, the more interesting sales from the beginning of March, but then from next week it'll obviously be the most interesting sales from the previous 7 days, so hopefully there'll be less to go through. Right, just want to say a few hellos. A lot of people have joined the chat. Peter Ray was in here first. Peter Cummins is in there. Blitz has popped in. Sib K says hello, entertain me. Paul Mosley as well. Darren has popped in. Callum has popped in. Mark Bradbury. George Ross has popped in as well. Hi there. Righty then. Dave Rowland as well. Hairbrush needed. Yeah, guys, I may look a bit disheveled, but that's because me and Beck and I went out for our walk this morning. We smashed it. I'm so proud of us. Like, we really smashed it. We did our 5-mile walk, and we did it in a ridiculously good, well, for us, a ridiculously good pace. We walked with Alf, our dog, and we were wearing like jeans and walking boots, so we weren't wearing like our trainers or jogging bottoms or anything. And we managed to do 5 miles in just under an hour, 14. So our pace was like 14 minutes, 40 something seconds a mile, which for us is a massive improvement. You know, so we're really pleased with how that went, and so hence I'm probably still looking a little bit, you know, flustered and a bit, you know, how it goes. Right, Seaside Salvage has popped in as well. Hi there. Andrea as well. Hi Andrea. Vincent Lees. Steve has popped in as well. George says, yeah, right, so your hair is a mess because you and Beck were walking. No, it was definitely walking. That's all it was. Walking outside with the dog. And obviously Alf did slow us down a bit. We felt a bit guilty by the end of it because he was a bit tired, but he kept on stopping to do his normal dog business. Hey, slow down, Roger Bannister. Yeah, we're not quite at that level yet, Seaside Salvager, but we're really pleased with today. So we're feeling positive. Okay, guys, enough with the chat. Obviously carry on chatting in the chat, and I will obviously pop in, but I wanted to get on with sharing with you guys some of the sales that we've gotten. There's a nice little mixture to go through actually, so I'm gonna just go through some of the items and we'll work our way through. Let's just start off with the web browser. There we go. Let me move myself across. I like myself over here on the right hand side. You guys can all see the store name anyway. It's Rap God FTW if you haven't seen it. Rap God for the win. I was listening to a lot of Rap God by Eminem, and I thought, why not name the store after it? I don't know why. I might change it to something else. I don't know, like anyway, I'll just put myself over here and we'll go through some of the items that we have sold. So here is the first item I want to share with you guys. This is something we've picked up. This came as part of a bundle quite a while back. It's over a year ago, I think now, or approaching a year at least. It was a car boot pickup where Beck and we picked up this huge, I think Beck was actually at work, but I picked up this huge bundle of craft stuff from a local car boot sale, and we did really well with it, and we've just got a few bits left here and there now, which we've priced high, and we've just left because it's quite small. And what these are called Cricut like cartridges. I was calling them Cricut before, but it's Cricut. So Cricut cartridges, and you know, this has taken a while, Darren. Yeah, so you know, but our pricing is probably quite high, I guess. We're getting really good money for this stuff. If you look at completed listings on Cricut cartridges, you'll see that often they sell quite cheaply at auction, or even at Buy It Now people sell them cheaply. We've just left them at a high price, and you know, they have ticked away. We're down to our last few, so we don't mind. And we actually had someone buy 2 of them, which was lovely. So it was a celebrations one. Comes with a handbook and a keypad, and it was a Forever Young one, so 1978 each, and lady bought both of them, so that was a nice little sale. It's also worthwhile noting, if you do find any Cricut cartridges, they do have this issue, or not an issue, but they do have something that could affect the value you get, which is whether they've been linked or not. Once they're linked, they can't be unlinked as far as I'm aware. It doesn't affect the functioning of the cartridge, so if you're going to use this in a craft machine, physically plug it in, you're going to have no issues. However, what you can do is you can link them, which means you can use the patterns that are on this without needing the cartridge. So obviously people buy them, link them, and then they become linked, and you have to sell them as linked, which means they'll sell for less value. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go like for a lot less money, but it's just something to bear in mind. So those are the first 2 sales I wanted to share with you guys, so we'll get rid of that. Shelster Rooney's in the chat, Jason Entwistle, Karen is in there as well. Hi there, Karen. Yeah, so it's taken a while, Darren, the Cricut stuff to sell, but I think that's because this is the last of the this is like the last of like the stuff really. A lot of it has sold now. Beck's been doing a great job of bundling certain bits and pieces, and this is just all that's left on the main store. So let's just get through. Okay. Next item, it's a Thunder Tiger starting set. So of course we're going to end up into RC territory, but this is a really nice sale. Someone paid $39.99 for this starting set. That is quite a lot of money for that. Basically it's like the pull starter and one-way bearing that hooks onto the back of a nitro engine. So $39.99. So that was a nice little sale. Okay, let me just carry on. Okay, this item is really cool. Bobby Billington's joined us as well. Hi Bobby. I'm trying to list, as always. You are informative and interesting, Z says, Seaside Salvager. Oh, thanks, really kind of you to say that. So this is quite a cool sale. This is an ECX Type N 1/8 scale nitro buggy. This was a really nice item. I could have gotten more money for it, but the thing is, it was one of those where I'd gotten it as part of a job lot, so it wasn't necessarily worth me spending the money to complete it, because the parts are not that easy to come by. So whoever buys this, the chances are they're probably going to end up chucking out the engine and replacing it, or unless they've got the part already, because it's missing the pull start and, you know, the back plate assembly, the bearing, and for this particular engine they're not particularly common, they're not easy to come by, and that's one of the things with RC cars. Sometimes parts become scarce, and that's why people like to stick to certain brands. But considering it didn't have that, and I removed the radio and transmitter, which is like the controller and the receiver basically, so to control the buggy, and that will make me a nice bit of money on the side as well. So I took that out and I sold it as is, and I got $109.99 plus shipping, so I was very happy. It's going to Germany. I think the additional shipping on it was like $29.99, so you know, really pleased with that. And you can see I just took a photo of it. The engine is out. The buggy itself is like unused, so you know, it's a shame that it was missing such a crucial part. So there we go. Peter Cummins says, nice photos. Are they taken with your phone? I believe some of these were. I think this photo was taken with my phone, but I have recently started to use my mirrorless camera. It's only a little basic job, but it's you know, it's one of those things where it's you know, it's a simple camera but more than adequate for eBay photos. But yeah, I think so. I think the main difference is, I think what's really helped us is we've gotten this new, well, not, it's just a roll of paper, but it's like high GSM, so very thick paper. It's like a background, so it's designed as photo paper. It was really expensive. It was like 30 quid for a roll, and I was like, oh, it's just like for a roll of paper, but it's made such a difference. It gives you that seamless, creaseless background, and I love it, absolutely love it. Okay. Oh, I picked up that RC car, looks a bit like that with the corkscrew style thing, but mine is mucky as sin, says Sib K. I picked up for £31. That's a really good price. I'm sure you'll do well. With these things, you've got options. If you don't mind waiting a little bit, I could have literally sold this car off piece by piece. You could have taken the tires off. You could sell the shell separately. You could sell the servos. You can sell the arms. You can sell the transmission. You know, it's got 3 transmissions. It's got, it's got a front diff, like a rear diff, and then it's got a center transmission as well. You could literally break it down, and the chassis itself is worth money. So you could, you really could break it down and get a lot more money, but you have to decide really how long you're willing to wait, etc. And obviously the brand is important as well. If you've got a good brand like HPI or Traxxas, like a popular brand, it'll be quicker to, something that's sold a lot, like Thunder Tiger as well, which is I sell a lot of. You'll sell the parts quicker because there's more demand. ECX, especially in this format of a buggy, isn't going to be quite as popular. Anyway, I spent enough time on that one. Let's move on. This is quite a nice little sale. This is a Hot Wheels Elite Ferrari. Now, what's really funny about this car is it's a really nice die-cast model, and that model, it was in mint condition, but for some reason, I don't know what happened. This is a very strong plastic case, like really strong, tough plastic, and something must have fallen on it with immense force, or this must have gotten hot to quite a big degree, where the actual case is literally just, it's like it's been crushed, but like melted / crushed, I don't know. And it really is something that's, that was surprising. I don't know how it happened. It was like, it's this really tough plastic, and it was just completely, look how it sits in the car. It's crazy. This is what happened to this. This is how I got this. This was part of the bundle. I've sold 3 of these before, or 2 of them. Sorry, this was the 3rd one. I think I had 2 of them which were fine, normal condition. Case was in good condition. But this particular one, this is the last one I had, it was just knackered. It looks completely trashed, but the car itself luckily survived the damage. So it's, it's well worth doing. Sib says, yep, it was a Thunder Tiger. If I get into it, I will look at splitting into parts, says Sib. Yeah, Sib, well, I mean, with Thunder Tiger, you'll find that you'll have plenty of buyers to buy it. You could flip it. You could flip the buggy or flip the RC that you've got. And you'll probably make a profit on it because you only paid 30 odd quid. You'll probably make good money. However, if you part it out, you probably will do even better. It might take you a bit longer because obviously some parts are going to be more in demand because they break more often. So you have to think about that. Niall says, Z, I was into RC racing in the early 2000s. Still have lots of low C XXT trucks and parts. Might have a go at listening to them. Niall, you will find that those will sell mighty quick. The low C XX range of trucks, XXT, the XXL and things like that, very popular. So yeah, you'll sell those with no issue, mate. Niall, I would definitely go through and sell them. Right, Blitz says that looks like it's been near heat. Peter reckons Alfie farted on the case. No, this was before we got Alfie, so we can exonerate Alfie of any guilt as far as the damage to the case, even though he does emit enough toxic odor that it could quite feasibly do something like that. Definitely, yeah, it's pretty bad. Let's move on, right? Okay, let's see. Thank you, by the way, for the 50 odd people that are watching this. This is fantastic. Was not expecting 50 people to be able to join me during like lunchtime on a Monday, but thank you everybody for joining me, really appreciate it. Let's move on. Okay, something that's not RC, guys. Stephen Bennett's just joined us. Hi there, Stephen. Yeah, it looks like the car's tyres haven't been affected. Looks like extreme heat, says Darren. Yeah, I was surprised that the car was mint. It was crazy. But it sold for £20, so really happy with that. This is a Shaw M75 EJ Type 2 moving magnet cartridge with an ED T2 stylus made in the United States of America. This was a pickup. There was a really crusty record player going at auction, and everyone knew that it was crusty. It was just a bad looking record player, and it had rubbish stylus on it, but people didn't pay much attention that it came with like a little box with a couple of spares in it. And I won this record player for like, I don't know, it was like £8, £6, something like that, plus the commission. And so I was like really pleased that I found this cartridge. It hasn't taken that long to sell. I have gone quite high on it, so $44.99. You can see the stylus there. Bear in mind, it's quite a small item, so it's not easy to photograph, and this was done using my previous cloth background, so you can see like some texture, and you can see that it's a bit gunky there, and there's some green crud on the contacts, but it doesn't affect it from working. I mean, obviously, you know, ideally it would be mint, but it's pretty good. And I got all the markings there, the Shaw brand, made in the US, and the model number of the cartridge and everything, so pretty pleased. And that sold for $44.99, and plus $7.99 shipping. So when you're out there and you're looking at record players, always worth looking at what cartridge is on them, what the tone arm is. There are some really good brand manufacturers of tone arms and cartridges, and sometimes you might find like what's considered a classic tone arm or a classic cartridge that's in high demand by hi-fi fans, and they will pay serious money for this stuff. So definitely worth keeping an eye on that, guys. Definitely worth keeping an eye on that. So $44.99 plus shipping for that item there. Okay, this is another item that I've been sat on for ages because it was overpriced. Now the photos here are terrible. You can see that they're very overexposed. I just took this using an old phone I had, which I no longer have, and the phone wasn't very good at taking photos. And you know, you can see, like, especially when it was like a mass of a certain color, so it's like a lot of brown there, and you know, it's just not very good photos, to be honest. Overexposed, just look a bit washed out, not great deal of detail there. You've got all the kind of light marks there. It's not very good, and just, you know, not that awesome. And the thing is, I had this listed for over £40. I think it was like £45 for the longest time. And I just got sick of seeing it. This came as part of that craft job lot. And it's a brand called Seagull. It's a storage bag for your craft stuff, and it's got little pockets for your Cricut cartridges. So those Cricut cartridges that I showed at the beginning of this video, this was like a storage bag, and originally a bag like this would have cost an awful lot of money. I think these were retailing at close to £100 or something stupid like that. Insane money. So I thought, like, you know, £50, it's in good condition, but no one bit. I'd get the odd watches, but no one bit. So in the end, I just dropped it to £30, and I got a sale, so I was very pleased. I think I held on to it far too long. Question Z, how did you cope with the KFC late chicken shortage, says Matt. I was fine, it didn't affect me at all, Matt. So I'm glad to report there was no issues. Peter Ray, question Z, do you know the average price your RC parts are selling for? It really does vary, but our average price overall is pretty good. Our average selling price is pretty good, but it really does vary. I've got parts on for as little as £4, and I've got a lot of parts going all the way up to just, you know, lots of money. So it's difficult for me to say. Right, so let's just get rid of that. Got you on in the background, Z. eBay listings revamping, lot, says Retro Vintage 65. Fantastic. Good morning from where I am, says the Veranda Files. And Peter Cummins asks, any tips for photographing black? I'm trying to photo dark grey black trousers with a white background, and either the background is too white or the trousers are too black. Okay, the issue is your camera, when it's focusing on the trousers, it's going to try to like really brighten them up, which will overexpose the background. Or if there's a lot of white in the background, it'll make the trousers too dark because it'll see more white, because it's just what the camera sees is like the whole picture, as it were, and it's going to see, oh, there's only a little bit of color here, black, the rest of it is white, so it tries to kind of match it to a gray basically. So you need to kind of mess around with the exposure compensation. It won't be easy. You may find it's better just to take the photo and see if you can adjust it afterwards, but I would say you just need to slightly adjust exposure compensation to make it brighter or darker until you get a happy balance where the background's not too washed out and you can see enough detail on the trousers. But that is always going to be tricky. Treasure Pirate says, hi there Heather. Right, question, how did the meeting go? Asked Ryan. The meeting went really well. We're happy with how it went. We actually did a lot better than we thought we would have done. I'm sure we'll discuss it in future videos, but yeah, it went well. Zimpaz says, howdy, hi there. Alright, on to the next item, guys. This is a body shell. So this is what I mean by selling parts. So Sib, if you're still in the chat, gives you an example. I mean, this didn't sell super quickly. This took probably about 3 months, maybe 4 months to sell, so quite a while. And all that time you've got this plastic shell knocking around, so you've got to have somewhere to store it. Now this is a body shell for a Sen Genesis 1/8 scale monster truck, and it's used, so it obviously has marks and scuffs and dings on it or whatever, but there were no cracks on it. So this is a Lexan body shell. It's got the holes already pre-cut for the engine block to poke out. That will be for the antenna of the receiver to pop out, and you got the body posts as well. So that's just a body shell, and in the end I managed to get my asking, which was £30 with free shipping, so I was very pleased with that. So it just shows you, if you're patient, splitting RC is very much like Lego, guys. So when people buy Lego sets brand new, because they know that by buying them brand new, splitting them down, they're going to triple the value of selling the set sealed, right? So it's the same thing. You can go out today and you can buy a brand new RC car if you want, spend whatever on it. Make sure you pick one that people want, so like a Traxxas or something. If for example there's a new one coming up called the Traxxas Ultimate Desert Racer, I'd love it. I so badly want this truck, but it's about £800. However, if you were to buy it for £800 and then you split it down piece by piece, you'd probably make more money on it by selling all the individual parts. But it's obviously a lot of money down up front, and some parts are going to sit there forever. Not everyone's going to need every part, so you're going to have to sell some in bulk and whatever, but you can definitely make money doing that. Anyway, so that's that. Let's move on. R2 has joined, and DJ Winnie has joined as well. Thank you. Stephen Bennett says, question, what was your fastest ever selling item? I listed an old banknote and it sold within about a minute. I really can't remember, Stephen. I think we've had a few sales where that's happened and you get that worried feeling for a second, but then you think, no, I just priced it right. I think one of the sales that really sticks out in my head was I listed this like little wooden Christmas tree ornament. It was like a little Christmas tree put together like plywood, and you clip it together, and I think it was from IKEA or something, and I listed it in July. It was hot sunny July, and it sold within like half hour of me listing it, and that was pretty cool. But that stuck in my head, not valuable or anything, but that stuck in my head. All right, let's move on to the next item. Okay, just another question from Zimpaz, and says, question, where do you source from mainly? Zimpaz, currently we mainly look for hauls, like big collections of things. We tend to look out for people selling in bulk, and if they're selling in bulk, then there's often value there. So it means we don't have to go out sourcing regularly. It means we don't have to fret about finding things on a daily or weekly basis, and it helps us kind of become knowledgeable about a specific niche. So for example, in this case, radio control, I love it anyway, so it works pretty well. Alrighty then. This item, this is quite cool. Now, this is what I mean about making some money from parts, right? Now, I've seen people sell the monster truck used, or like for a used monster truck for, you know, about, I don't know, the monster truck that this part came from. You could probably pick up. Actually, let's just do a quick eBay on this. Why not? Why not? Let's have a okay, let me just have a quick eBay look here. Let's go to some sold listings. Okay, these are working trucks by the looks of it. People have sold these working trucks, you can see on average about 325 pounds, right? Which is, you know, a fair amount of cash. It's not a little amount of money, definitely not. However, this is where it gets interesting. Here you've got someone that sold, okay, a new body shell, but $60 just for the body shell. You know, each little part can be sold off for a lot more money. So you know, well, this guy sold a differential alone for £35. That's what I've just sold. So, but anyway, here's my differential, and I sold it for £59.99. So a truck will come with two of these pieces, two diffs, right, the front and the rear. So two of them sell for £60 each. It didn't sell immediately, but it sold within a month, guys. So it sold pretty quickly. So £60, and there's two of them on a truck. So there's £120 in those two parts alone. And then you've got the tires, which are going to be worth money. You're going to have the engine, you're going to have the exhaust, you're going to have the chassis, you're going to have the drive shafts, you're going to have, you know, just think about all the parts that make up a truck, the transmitter, the receiver, the servos, everything. And you can make good money doing that. But there we go. That is a differential. Just give you a close-up of it. So that's the housing, and inside there are all the gears for the diff, and there's the output drive cups, and there is the drive shaft as well. So that one piece, and like I said, each truck comes with two, and I had a truck which was incomplete, so obviously what I've done is I've broken it down, and I'm starting to list the parts from it. I've not listed everything, but there we go. Anyway, that sold for £59.99. Right. Let's just move along. And here is another sale. This is a RC truck. This is an ECX Ruckus. ECX is kind of like an entry-level brand, but they do have, like, you know, different ranges like anyone else. So this is one of their better trucks. This is a brushless truck, which means it goes quick, and it came with a good receiver and transmitter. And I didn't want to break it down or anything. I was happy to sell it and get like a sale, and get the whole thing out of the house. I actually accepted an offer on this truck for 150 plus shipping, so I was pretty pleased with that. So there you can see what the truck looks like. That's a 1/10 scale truck, and it was all complete with the speed controller and everything, like the works basically. So nice truck there for someone. Stephen Moore says hi there, so hi Stephen. So that was a nice little sale too. All right, moving along. Now this is a bit of an upsetting sale for me. I had two of these cars. This is a 1/24 scale Losi rally car. Really cool. It's super small. It's about that big, 1/24 scale, but it is 4-wheel drive. It's got a brushless motor. These are all things that RC guys will appreciate. 4-wheel drive, brushless motor. It runs on a LiPo battery, and I think that's what's caused me the issue. I've already sold one of these, and it went to the United States without any issue. And I sold this one to Australia, and I was really I was really looking forward to, you know, the guy receiving it and being happy, because obviously paid a lot of shipping. Now it looks like I could be in for a fight, because obviously shipping costs, I think it was around £50 for this item. £50 is a lot of money to pay out for shipping, and I've just noticed that the courier company, in this case it was DPD, is, you know, DPD is going to bring it back to me basically. So it's just sending it back straight away, which is a bit annoying, a bit unfortunate, but it's something you've got to be aware of. Different countries have got different rules. Some countries are far stricter than other countries. Now, you know, like I said, I sold one of these to the United States. It got to the customer without any issue, but to Australia, it's not going to work. So what's going to happen is this is on its way back to me, and I'm going to have to tell the customer it's been returned, and probably because of this or that or the other, and then, you know, I'm going to have to see what happens next. I might end up having to cancel the sale, but if he wants it, I'll have to ship it out again, which is then going to cost me more, but I'll look to ship it a cheaper way. I'll ask him to, you know, whether I could take it out of the box, and I'll reduce shipping a lot, because shipping was only a lot because of the box, really. I can package all of this up in a small parcel size, and it'll go for a lot cheaper, but because it was over a small parcel size, I had to go like that, and it's really frustrating. So DPD have let me down, but there we go. Karen says, wowza here, your confidence with presenting has come on amazingly. I don't have a clue what you're talking about, but it's very calming radio 2-type noise. Thank you, Karen, I really appreciate it. There are the odd bits of non-RC in this as well. I'm not sure whether we've actually gone through them all. Actually, I may have gone through all the non-RC stuff already, but there we go. Peter says, I know, Karen, I don't know anything about RC cars, but I feel like I do now. That's fantastic. Yeah, I won't do a nick there, Peter. I won't send the wrong part, but it's pretty awful that it's going to come back, because it's going to cost a packet. Well, like I said, it's like 50 quid, so I'm going to have to find out why. I've got a feeling they're going to tell me it's because it was a prohibited item. So what can we do? Question, why did DPD return it? I've got a feeling because of I don't know how they would have found out, but if they suspect that there's a LiPo battery, LiPo batteries are very if you're not looking after them, they can basically explode. If you guys want to do yourself a favor, and after the live stream, obviously not now, but after the live stream, if you pop into YouTube and just type in LiPo battery fire, you'll be quite scared. And most electric RC cars nowadays will use a LiPo battery. Now on that car, the battery is tiny. It was perfectly safe, there's no issue with it, and if you ship them safely, there's no issue. If you store them safely, there's no issue, but they can be a risk, and I believe that Royal Mail, for example, won't like you sending LiPos in the post, so that's something to bear in mind. Anyway, moving on to yet another RC truck. Now this is another one that I'm really happy with what I got for it, but it could have been a lot more. But this is like a slightly older model of a low-C truggy, which is a cross between a buggy and a monster truck, and it is nitro, so it's a nitro engine. Now normally nitro engines have got those little pull start cords on them. However, on this engine it had an onboard ignition system, so you could remotely start the nitro fuel engine without a pull starter. However, even though this was a brand new truck, it had the part removed for use in another truck, so it was a bit of a shame, and you're not going to find that part easily because Low-C have discontinued it. They're not easy to come across, so again it's a situation where parts can be hard to find even from a manufacturer as popular and as big as Low-C, so it's very difficult to find this ignition starter, especially new. So there are ways around it. I think you can put a pull start on it or a drill start, so that's what the buyer's going to have to do. But I accepted £140 for this, which I was very, very happy with. So really nice truck there. Really epic, never used. You can see really beautiful engineering. I absolutely love these things. Seaside Salvager says, what bombs? Yeah, LiPo batteries are very dangerous if not handled correctly. Right, I think I'll stick to Monopoly, says Seaside Salvager. Treasure hunting in Oz, says good day all. How there? Hi there. Right, let's move on. This is an interesting sale. This has gotten me into doing auctions. Some of you guys will know that recently I went on a bit of a not a rant, but I did have a little chat on the chat with Nick, where, and I've mentioned it on the Friday Chinwag as well, and I've mentioned it that sometimes I get frustrated with some of the stock sitting around, and we've got a lot of model kits. Like this one. So these are quite old photos. You can see they're taken on a different background. I've not used my exposure compensation, so you can see there's a bit dull. The photo's a bit dull. It's not very appealing. But anyway, it was just of a box really, because it's a sealed box. I'm not going to open it. It's new and sealed with a bit of sticker residue. So this is a model kit. So if someone buys this, it'll be a bunch of plastic on sprues. You'll build it up. You'll paint it with paints that aren't included, etc. And I've had these things sat around, and I'll sell the odd one here and there, and it's really slow, really frustrating. Now, the cool thing is, I just decided why not try auctions, because I've got obviously 300 auctions. And I think 300 auctions every month, and I don't use any of them. So I decided to just put this item on auction, and it did really well, better than I would have hoped. It went for £18 at auction. I started it at 99p plus £8.99 shipping to France, I believe it was. So it sold. I've got like 5 or 4 more of these. And not only that, I've started putting a lot of my other model kits on Auction Weekly, and they're all getting a lot more interest via auction. It seems like certain items, or especially these model kits, people don't really care to buy them when they're on Buy It Now because they're listed for ages. Maybe they don't see the listing or whatever. But when they come up at auction and there's a chance for someone to get them cheaper, they start bidding on them, and I'm happy with that. So that is cool. Peter Ray says, Z, when are you on Bonafide Hustler channel? I really don't know, Peter. I'm sure he will message me to let me know when. I think they've got to work to Rally Routes, because Rally Routes obviously I'm guessing are quite busy in terms of their scheduling and all that, so they have to figure out a time they're going to be available to do it. And obviously Bonafide Hustler is probably quite busy as well, so they're both busy people. So I'm just gonna be like, yeah, whenever they're ready, because I'm not as busy. Okay, let's just move along. All right, this was my final electric RC truck, 1/8 scale, huge truck. Now this gave me a little bit of a scare, guys. You can see it's got a bit of scuffing on it there, where I'd raced it down the stream and the street, and I'd flipped it over a few times. So yeah, really big truck, epic truck. So you can see it all there in its glory. Those are the drive shafts that lead to the diff, by the way. So here we go. There's the electric engine and the ESC electric motor. So really nice truck. Actually, let me just get rid of myself so you can have a look at it. Beautiful truck. Absolutely gorgeous truck. Just love it. So yeah, this one sold and went to France for $399. And these are all sales in March. Now, what really scared me is I got a message very quickly saying, I have not received it, I will be opening a return. But then I checked the tracking, and it did say it had been delivered, and I never heard again. So I'm sure that's fine now. So I had a little bit of a scare with that, but yeah, there we go. Niall says, Z, reference auctions, I always use my 300, start them at your Buy It Now price. Sometimes you get a nice surprise when bidders start to fight for items. That's a good idea, Niall. If you've got them, Niall Guyver, not Gulliver, Niall Guyver. Oh yeah, yeah, I will bear that in mind. I do need to use auctions more, definitely, because it's a bit of it's a bit silly to waste them. So yeah. All right, so that was a nice sale, £400 plus shipping to France. And it stayed sold. So woohoo. Right, moving on. another RC part. This is an old school AM receiver, so this is basically what receives a signal from the transmitter. I can't believe it sold for 20 quid. I think that's amazing for such old technology. Someone must be really trying to complete, you know, like a truck and make it just right. We're almost done, guys, in terms of the items. Now this is epic. This in my recent job lot, I found quite a few of these Spectrum. Ooh. Ow! Ow! Oh, ow! Oh gosh, this is embarrassing. Oh, I've just cramped. Oh god. Oh. Bear with me, guys. Oh god. Oh, that walk. Oh, fudge. Oh. God. This is really painful, guys. Oh, God. God. Oh man, alive. That hurts so bad. Oh. It's right at the back of my thigh. Oh, schmeg.
Are you okay? Do you want me to carry on?
Oh, I don't know what can... Oh, fudge.
Can I get up?
I don't know if I can. Oh, I'm kidding you. Did you have to come downstairs? Because I'm live going, oh, fudge.
All I heard was just pure silence because I'm listening. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, what's he done?
Oh, man alive.
Are you okay?
I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much. I'm hurting so much right now. Oh, I'm trying not to swear.
Can you move it all?
Oh, fudge. I'm saying fudge.
I know, but can you move it all?
Oh, bloody hell.
Is it just cramping?
It's cramping like crazy, yeah. Oh.
I'm not much help to you, I'm just standing laughing.
Yeah. Oh,
Can
man.
you move your foot?
Bend the toes, says Tom, yeah.
Bend.
That's working.
Are we better?
No, 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 no. Oh, man alive.
Bend your foot up. It's gonna hurt.
Shit.
Just do that.
No, no.
Just do that.
Oh, you cow. What are you doing that for? Stop it. Stop
Say
it. Stop it, you're killing me.
No. Move it, you've got to move it.
This is so painful. Sitting won't help. Right.
Yeah, get up.
Let me.
Move it.
Oh, man alive. Oh, fuck.
I was wondering what you're doing.
Poor Al.
Better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man alive.
Do you want to try and finish with the...
Yeah, I'm gonna finish, damn it. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Oh dear, I don't know what to say.
What a time to get
Anyway.
back. Do you want to sit down and talk to them?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
So you're kind of left with me right now.
Oh.
Well, old man gets his legs back. Yeah, Alfie does look a bit concerned.
Oh, fudgesicles.
I'm just going to read from the chat, okay?
Okay.
Oh, it's gone so quickly. Let's have a look.
Oh, fudge, it's coming back.
Yeah, he's got cramp in his leg.
It's moving up.
It's not going too well. Sibke says you need a good rub.
Yeah.
No, his trousers are definitely staying on.
I think we're getting there.
Andrew is getting better with the standing and stretching.
I think that's DPD. I need to get DPD. I'll be back in a second.
Right, he's just going to leave me to it. He's just gone to the door. Okay, so...
it's just
okay, he needs to stretch his back. Hi everyone. I didn't expect to come on stream today. I was upstairs listening and then watching him in the background, and I just heard pure silence and I thought, oh god, what's he done? Anyway. So where was he? He looks like he was on this one, the Spectrum. I have got no clue what this is. It says it's a fly barless control system. I'm just going to carry on with the stream. So we have, we had about 5 of these.
No, we've got more. We've sold 5 is what I was
saying. Okay, right. So we've actually sold 5 of these. Yeah. We've got way more.
Yeah, because I wanted to talk about completed listings. I think I'm getting back.
Oh, okay. He thinks he's going to be back, so... I'm scared. Oh, that would be really cruel if I did that.
What?
Kick his leg.
Why would you do that for?
I know, right?
How many people are these? Kick his leg. Stupid. Okay, yeah,
so apologies, because I wasn't expecting to do this, so I wouldn't have picked any of these items really, because I would know nothing about them. I list them, but I know nothing about them. But anyway, this is a Spectrum fly. Is it fly barless?
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Control system. We've got it listed at $79.99. How many of these have we got?
I think in total we've got about 10 or something.
So we've got about 10 of these in total.
But the thing is, what I wanted to share was...
Do you want to take back over?
Yeah,
right, I'm going to go, okay, and Zahir's going to take back over as long as he can
I'm
carry
good
on.
now. I think I'm good. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, gosh. Oh, there we go. Oh, gosh. Okay, off. Okay. Alright, guys, sorry about that. I can't believe that happened. It's so ridiculous. That was so painful. That was so painful. Oh, damn. That was so painful, guys. I'm not even kidding you. just so painful. I don't know what to say. Okay. All right. Oh gosh, that was just ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, now that the cramp is over, no, it's fine, Rooney. It was very funny. I can see the comedy element. It was okay. Yeah, Alfie's giving me a hug. Bless him. Oh, thank you, Alfie. All right, guys. Claire says I have a vibrating chair cover you can buy. Live TV is brilliant. Yes. Oh man. Okay. Alright. What I wanted to share with you guys was this fly barless controller. This is a unit which keeps an RC radio control helicopter steady. So it's like the brains of a radio controlled helicopter. Radio controlled helicopters are notoriously difficult to fly. They need constant inputs. You'll have constantly need to adjust it just to keep it steady, and this unit is like the brains of an RC helicopter. Now, the reason why I've put this in 5 times here, because we've sold this item 5 times in March so far, and we still have about 5 left, right? And there's the reason for showing you this will become apparent, because as you can see in the title, I want to talk about beware of completed listings, because obviously there was a thread in the chat earlier where someone mentioned that, I think it was yeah, someone mentioned that you can tell a lot by a shop's completed listings, and I would go as far as to say, not only is that not true, it's very far from the truth. I think you can tell very little from completed listings when you think about it. I think you have to be careful. So this is a Spectrum fly-barless controller, and like I said, we've sold 5 of them this month, and I will talk about completed listings and how that affects it later. So bear in mind, there's 5 of these here we've sold. Okay, get rid of those. Moving on, we're down to the last 2 items, guys. So you know, it's thank you for the comments, guys. It's just you. What a professional. I know, what an idiot, more like getting cramp on live stream. Here we go. This is a RC helicopter a motor blade. So this is the main rotor blade from a radio controlled helicopter. You can see the packaging was in poor condition, but these are made of carbon fiber. The carbon fiber blades are light and they're strong, so they can withstand a little bit of damage, but at the speeds that they spin, even they don't last. But I sold one set of those for £20, so I was pretty pleased with that. And final sale I wanted to share was an engine. It's a damaged engine. This isn't actually the right picture. This is one I'm selling right now, but I had a similar one and it sold for £70. Now, the reason I want to share with you guys the title, you know, about beware completed listings is, you know, there's a reason I want to share this with you. And the reason is, like I said, you can't necessarily tell what is going on, you know, what is going on with someone's store completely by just looking at someone's completed listings. A lot of comments still about the CRAMP. Yes, I appreciate the comments. Right. Now the reason why I want to share with you about being aware of completed listings, right? I've just mentioned to you guys I've sold 5 of these Spectrum controllers. So this is my managed paid and dispatched order screen for this month. Okay, so this is only showing sales we have made from the 1st of March to today, which is the 12th of March, right? So these are all the paid and dispatched orders. And you can see that our sales there, yes, from yesterday, we have a Spectrum controller there. If I scroll down, there's another Spectrum controller here. And if I scroll down again, there's going to be a few here. Let's keep going. There's another Spectrum controller. So there's a 4th one, and then there's a 5th one. So there's 5 Spectrum controllers on that list. Now, however, if you were to go and check on the eBay store, on our eBay store, and you wanted to see whether, you know, what we had sold, you just wanted to see what we'd sold, right? There's me saying I've sold, and remember all the RC cars I've shown you as well. What I did was earlier on is I decided to log out of eBay. And you can see I'm not logged in. I logged out of eBay and I found my store and I went to completed listings recent first. Now, if you go, this is showing the 11th of March, it shows that I've sold one of those Spectrum controllers, right? Now, if I go all the way down to the 1st of March, you will see that even though we have sold 5 of those Spectrum controllers at £80 each, that's £400 worth of turnover, right? You can see if I go all the way down to the 1st of March, there it is, there's the 1st of March. There is no Spectrum control, no sale for that item apart from one. So there's only one. Out of the 5 of them that I've sold, it only shows one. So £80 sale it shows, and so if you were to go and look at my store and be like, oh, you sold one of those for 80 quid. No, we've sold 5 of them for 80 quid. Also, bear in mind, I showed you a number of radio-controlled cars, right? A £399 one. I showed you a £150 one, at like a £110 one. None of those are here. absolutely none of them are there. So, you know, instantly your idea of what we have sold would change, because, you know, that alone is a huge mess up there. 80 quid for that. You know, we've actually sold like, you know, 5 of them. So there's a huge mess up. And then 3 RC cars. One of the RC cars sold for 399 quid. One of them sold for 150. One of them sold for 110. One of them sold for 120. You know, there's about 3 or 4 RC cars I showed you. None of them are here in completed listings. So you'll go and look at the store and you'll think, oh, this is what I've sold. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Let's go and look at my sales screen. So suddenly, you didn't see the mini champs, the Cricut cartridge celebration sale, £40. That wasn't there either. That nitro truck wasn't there. I don't believe I saw the Hot Wheels. There's another Spectrum. I'm not even sure we saw the Shaw cartridge. I'm not sure we saw the Shell. We didn't see the low C diff that I sold for £60. So, you know, bear in mind, guys, that, you know, there's a huge difference, you know, between what you see when you look at someone's completed listings versus what they've actually sold. You know, you can be, it's not like, oh yeah, it'll only be a couple of things. Even if it is only a couple of things, those couple of things could be very high value, and they could completely change what someone has sold, their weekly sales. So just bear that in mind, guys. Don't take completed listings as gospel, because they really are not. They're very far from it. In actual fact, like I said, if you were to look at those figures, you know, if you look at what we've sold on our store and compare it against what we've actually sold, the difference would be humongous, right? I mean, there's at least £1,000 worth of difference there, comfortably. So bear that in mind, guys. So that's what I just wanted to mention in light of a recent discussion in the chat group, and obviously just the sales. What we'll be doing going forward is like a weekly sales video. We'll just do like a weekly sales video, hopefully without CRAMP this time, and so, you know, we'll see how that goes. Right, guys. Thank you everybody for joining me. Thank you for being good humored about my CRAMP during live stream. And we will see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed the video, please obviously, you know, smash the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. We'll see you later. Bye.